Well, Del Bell made me some dinner tonight, and in honor of Sammy, our camera girl who was burnt horribly, horribly, horribly in the fire, she made me grilled cheese. That was so nice.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another episode of Safety with Fat Boy. It is Friday night, July 24th, and every Friday night it's Behind the Fat, and that's where we get away from our regular programming that we normally do, and we start talking about things that are going on with the Safety with Fat Boy crew, or things that are going on with the events coming up. Sometimes we have funerals, sometimes we have debates. It depends. So, without any further ado, I will introduce a man that needs no introduction whatsoever. Here's Fat Boy. I thought that was you sitting there.
It was.
I thought.
I had to go make sure Minnie was alright though, because I wasn't sure if that was Minnie or not. At first I thought it was for Mrs. Boynet's tribute.
Oh no,
Mrs. Burnett is.
She's in here.
She's in the ashtray.
Oh, you guys are fucked
We're
up.
smoking, Mrs. Burnett.
You guys are fucked up. Thank you, Big T, for that very beautiful introduction. Welcome to another episode of Safety with Fat Boy. It is Friday night, so we will be doing Behind the Fat. So before we get started, I just want to introduce something very special for you folks. Introduce my role in me, everybody's favorite one-legged slanty-eyed pull-out devil.
Hi everyone.
Say hello to the nice people.
Hi nice people.
They're not
They're
really
not really
They're
nice
not
people. They're not nice people. Have you met any of them?
I know some of them.
You met a few of them right here.
And I met a few of them.
And they're not coming back,
A
right?
little bit crazy.
Yeah.
So, tonight we're going to be discussing a few different things. First, I just want to say Fat Boy for President 2020.
Fat Boy for President 2020.
Make America safe again.
Clean up the streets.
Masochist.
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 All right. So, we're going to jump right into tonight's show. Tonight we're going to be talking a little bit about
Fat Boy for President.
Bernadette Boynitz, and she's been murdered.
Murdered.
I for
Don't you
one
start.
am deeply disturbed by the fact that Mrs. Burnett was murdered, and that possibly. Oh, it's okay.
Oh, now you're saying?
Listen, get over it, huh? She's been dead for 5 days.
Yeah.
And that somebody on the set of Safety with Fat Boy is the killer of Mrs. Burnett.
So, before Peter Piper gets here, we want to talk a little bit about what we think might be going on, and maybe we should all get our story straight too. He's coming to investigate a murder. None of us want to get tripped up or anything.
And if I could just say real quick before you go any further, Peter Piper is walking here from L.A. and he took a detour at one point this week and ended up, I don't know, in Portland or something. But last night he was in Ohio and was supposed to be here tonight. However, when he left Ohio, he had to cross PA. And as all of you who live in PA know, that is a fucking disaster. And the governor put him in quarantine, so he'll probably be here Monday.
I heard he was somewhere around Philly a few hours ago.
That's a tough city.
Yeah, I heard he got caught on Kensington for a while.
He's quarantined. He's quarantined.
Oh, he's fucked.
Yeah, he's
fucked.
He's
He might not even be here at all. But we're going to talk about stuck in Philly. I mean, we're going to talk a little bit about.
Well, at least it's not Delaware.
I don't know. What's worse? The
Give us your opinion. What's worse, Philly or Delaware?
I'm gonna have to say, Kensington takes the cake.
I think Wilmington is a little rough.
So, let us know. Well, I'm going to talk a little bit about. So I did some digging myself, people, before Peter Piper got here. I got a whole list of things that I found that we could talk about.
That's an alibi.
It was
Very-
a handwritten email.
Very interesting things. This was a handwritten email, and I did send all of this information to Peter Piper, try to help him out a little bit. Give him a head start.
Peppers.
No, that's not the Peter Piper that's coming to
Peter
perpetrator on our
Piper.
program.
Okay.
Piper, picked up, like you say.
So let's start with talking about Big T.
Okay.
So Big T is not. He is
I
a
wanna
suspect
know
because he's
why.
on our show, but he does not have a motive as of yet.
Well, what do you
That
wanna-
we know of.
What do you want to know?
I
I
dug
don't know
and
how
dug and dug.
come you're not a suspect.
Well, here's the thing. I am a suspect.
We were all there that night.
We were all there that night when poor
Yes.
Mrs. Burnett went to bed and somebody
Exactly.
poisoned her drink. However, I am a suspect. Everybody's a suspect. I just have no motive as the rest of you do.
The rest of us, except for Barati, doesn't seem to have a motive. The only motives that would make sense for you, or Nubby Chang, the only motives that would make sense for you or Barati, I believe, would be an accomplice right now. And I don't.
An accomplice to who, though? I have an alibi. I have a strong alibi.
You do?
I do.
Well, let's hear it.
Well, when Peter Piper gets here, you will hear it.
You ain't told me nothing yet.
I don't have... Have you heard anything?
That's what I'm waiting for you to talk to.
Well, I haven't said anything.
You said nothing worth hearing.
Not yet.
So Peter Piper will be here soon, and hopefully he can crack this nut right here. Next, we're gonna go ahead and talk a little bit about Tyrone and what I dug up on Tyrone. So I did find out some very interesting things. So Mrs. Bernadette Burnitz was the original owner of Dildo.
She owned Dildo before Dildo came on the show and was always controlled by Barati.
Now, when Dildo did come onto the show, Tyrone was
Dildo.
infatuated.
He was infatuated with Dildo.
Because it was double-headed.
And yes, he had never seen anything like it, Steely Dan. So, he was very infatuated, and come to find out, not soon after that, Tyrone's lawyer dropped him and lost his contract with our show.
That's why you don't see Tyrone
That's
on the
right.
show.
So, Mrs. Bernadette Burnitz is the one that got Dildo the spot on our show. She was here first and wanted to help her old friend out and got him the spot on our show. So we're thinking that might be tied together somehow. So you let us know your thoughts on that, what you think. Do you guys have any thoughts on that?
Well, the fact that Tyrone,
We got ducks in the house?
yes, there are ducks in the studio now.
Oh, okay.
The fact that Tyrone was so infatuated with Dildo and found out that Dildo was owned by Mrs. Burnitz, and Mrs. Burnitz probably wasn't giving that double-headed Dildo up. That's all I'm saying.
So he got pissed off?
Also, it
Interesting.
seems the minute we asked him if he had an alibi, all of a sudden nobody sees Tyrone.
It's Tyrone.
We haven't even seen him anymore, so that's my thought on it. I don't know.
I think there might be a restraining order out there somewhere. I haven't found it, but something's going on there.
Well, Peter Piper will get to the bottom of it, I'm sure.
So, next I'd like to talk a little bit about Mr. and Mrs. Scissorhands. This is very interesting.
Now
so
remember, they're in Texas. We're in Jersey.
Yeah.
I did a lot, and I mean a lot of digging on this.
But they
and-
were here the night she died, right?
Yes.
Yes, but none of us knew that until after she was dead. Why was that? But
And this is the issue with these guys is we don't really know exactly what. The only thing that we know about this, and like I said, I did a lot of digging. You guys have been covering up your tracks, and that's very suspicious.
Scissorhands,
And
Mrs.
we're-
Scissorhands.
and Mrs.
You know, we
Scissorhands.
love you,
Did
but
you get her to sign
Mrs.
life insurance that night?
Mrs. Scissorhands. Well, this is the thing. There's been a life insurance policy, and Mrs. Scissorhands has been the beneficiary of that life insurance policy for
Of Mrs. Burnitz.
Yes, for 2 months. It's a $100,000 life insurance policy
2 months.
for 2 months. Now, when I tried to contact Mrs. Scissorhands to talk to her about this, she blocked my number when she found out what I wanted.
oh, she blocked all our numbers. No, she blocked all our numbers when she found out that you were trying to get a hold of
Yeah.
her. She blocked all.
So-
and when Mr. Scissorhands is asked why she did that, he says,
Well, he was very upset that I was asking about it to begin with, and he got a little bit irate on the phone with me,
and the last I seen him on a polo when he was in the shower, he was awful irate in that shower also.
yeah, he was
He didn't
like he
slip
was
on no
really,
soap, did he?
No,
really
he didn't slip on any
abusing.
soap, but
He
yeah,
was
he was
abusing
he
him.
was throwing things at the camera and everything
And-
at his polo.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And the only other thing I want to mention about them two real quick is now we know they've been here and they can't deny it, but why is there no evidence of a plane ticket or a train ticket?
And
How
these
did
are
they
the
get here?
questions
How did they get
that
here?
I'd like to. Like I said, I forwarded all of this to Peter Piper, And I showed him everywhere that I looked, and so hopefully he has some more ideas of where he can find all this information that you guys are obviously covering up for some reason.
Yeah, if I was you guys, I would get myself the dream team.
So,
Robert Shapiro, perhaps?
next we're gonna move.
What was the black guy, the black lawyer's name? He's
He's
Johnny
dead.
Cochran.
Johnny Cochran, but he's dead.
gone.
He's dead.
Did
Like-
you kill him too?
Like Mrs. Burnett,
If-
he's dead.
The glove doesn't fit.
Something.
Well, you got
Then
scissors
it
for
quit,
hands, so
right?
Yeah,
That's it.
something's not right.
I don't know what's
Something
going on. I
serious
think they
is
cut the gloves up.
Something's
Yeah.
So next we're going to talk a little bit about Mrs. Hillary Clinton. So Mrs. Hillary Clinton, what we found out, they do have quite the history, Hillary and Bernadette. They go way back, back farther than even Lay. They used to kick it way back. And there was a love affair when they were younger.
between Hillary and Mrs. Burnett.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a fact now. That's there's no there's no.
Yes. Now there, Hillary has a lot more going on, and there is a lot of tracks that are covered up, but I think she slipped somewhere along the way because I don't think we were supposed to know about that love affair.
No,
I don't think
plus,
anybody would.
You know, plus Hillary's the only one who's running around saying she killed herself. She committed suicide. She's the only one running around saying
Yeah,
that.
she is.
Yeah.
I may have planted that seed. So next, I'm a troublemaker. So next,
Are you or are you a murderer? Go on.
Well, let's talk about me.
Okay.
Let's talk about me.
you.
Since Big T wants to bring it up.
Well, listen. All I'm saying is you're running for president against Hillary,
Yes.
and all of a sudden Hillary is a suspect in this murder. Wouldn't it be just dandy for you and your roller mate over here if Hillary took the fall?
In the unlikely event that my opponent has anything to do with this, it would be a tragedy. And so,
Look at this face. Does it look like I would do anything like that?
What is your alibi for that night? By
I
the way, Fat
wish
Boy?
Hillary nothing but the best. My alibi for that night would be
The best in what, Joe?
so I never did like Mrs. Bernadette Burns.
We all know that.
I-
You
I've
know
hated
that
her
you
for
hated
quite
her.
some
you
time,
hated her
and-
from day one.
And there is a reason. There is a reason for
And,
this.
and I'm going to tell you something, folks. Every time we suggested having Bernadette on the show, there was one person that was totally against it.
I've
every
actually
time.
never even been in an episode with her because every time I've conveniently had to be somewhere else. I'm not going to tell you why right now. I think that's private information, and I'll talk to the detective directly about that in a private interview.
Maybe you need the dream team.
Yeah.
No,
Maybe
I'll
you need
talk
Robert
to the
Shapiro.
detective. I'll talk to the detective.
Are you gonna tell him the truth?
Mr. and Mrs. Scissorhands. No, absolutely not. Mr. and Mrs. Scissorhands, on the other hand, they
I want to know why there's no record of them. Everyone knows they were here now. How did they get here? Why is there no record of them coming here on a plane or a train or a bus?
It's
How
very
come they
odd.
didn't contact any of us and tell
How
us
come
they
their
were
credit
there?
cards were
that
never
they were here?
used for gas if they drove here and they used cash every time?
Did they use Bernadette's credit card?
No, nobody has used their credit cards. That's being looked into, by the way. Nobody has used their credit cards. It's very interesting.
Okay.
So next, we're going to talk about.
Although Fat Boy keeps his safe locked all the time, won't let anybody in it. Go ahead, next.
Delbo.
Oh.
Okay.
So,
That
Little
was
known
my
fact.
friend.
little known fact. Bernadette Burnett and Del Bell have been lifelong friends.
Yes.
They met at, and this is, I'm not making this up, they met at a summer camp for one-legged children.
Yes.
Bernadette Burnett only has one leg. She
Now-
always wears a prosthetic.
Correct.
Now, we did not know that on the set. The only person who knew that on the set
And she kept this information to herself until I dug it up.
Okay.
So the theory might be,
Well, I don't think it's even a theory. You've pretty much told myself and Big T off camera that you were worried after Mrs. Bernadette Burnitz came to be on the show. You got her the job as the cook, and they automatically bumped her up as our cook on the show
They
to
did.
the babysitter, and you were scared that she was going to climb the ranks rather fast and take your place.
and who better to take your place than a person with one leg?
Yeah, but our hair color is different. Our aura is different. Our
Do you have an alibi for that night?
I'd come up with one.
Okay.
I think you should.
I think you should real quick.
Yeah,
You got a problem?
I think you
You
should.
got a little problem.
So,
You got money about me now?
we're going to talk a little bit about Baby T and Mindy the doggo.
Well,
Now they got the best motive.
Well, yeah, but I got to tell you something. To pick on this poor innocent baby T, I think is absurd. But go ahead.
Listen, I don't know if he is a victim. I don't know if he is.
He probably tortured that old lady when we were gone.
I don't know. On camera, she chloroformed that poor baby.
So did I. So did you. We've all chloroformed the baby T. That's how he goes to sleep. See, to the public eye, it looks dangerous, but is he really a victim? I think he played that up. I think he
Well,
played
if
that up.
that's
The
the
only
case,
real
then what would
victim
be?
was Mindy.
Well, wait a minute. Let's stick with baby T a minute. If that's the case, and he was never a victim, and he understood that this is the way you take care of little kids, you chloroform them to go to sleep, or give them Benadryl. If he
Benadryl's not
understood
strong.
that and was not a victim, what would the motive be for baby T?
Well, you saw that night on camera, Mrs. Bernadette Burnitz trying to stab him with the knife.
That's right.
Now, after that night is when CPS was called and Bernadette Burnitz went to prison. Now, if Baby T was upset that he never got to get his revenge, maybe he organized.
Would you not have to agree that the person who's now, at this point, anonymous, would you not have to agree that the person that bailed out Mrs. Burnetz has to be, you find out who bailed her out, you find your killer.
Maybe. Yeah. Because
Could be.
that's the last person that was with her.
It could be. But maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe somebody thought that Bernadette Burnitz just shouldn't be in prison. She was an old lady. She had
Then
friends.
why be anonymous about it?
Because of all the controversy around it.
I believe that the killer bailed out Mrs. Burnetz. And the reason the killer's anonymous is because they bailed out Mrs. Burnetz to kill Mrs. Burnetz. That's what I believe. Don't forget, I'm the only one who has no motive in this whole thing.
Yeah.
I'm an innocent bystander.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, so Baby T and Mindy the doggo, some people are thinking they're in cahoots.
Well,
Some-
Mindy the dog keeps changing her colors.
Well, she's actually gone into hiding. Nobody knows what Mindy the doggo is the real Mindy the doggo. She was very scared for her life when Mrs. Bernadette Burnitz came to be on the show and tried to
Kept putting her in a pot.
yeah, she tried to cut her up one night. She tried to cook her multiple times. It was very disturbing
Well,
for Mindy.
Does anyone know if
and
Mindy the
traumatizing.
doggo has an alibi? Has a motive, but does he have an alibi?
I don't know.
Well, yeah, I'm not sure about that yet. We haven't really talked to Mindy much. Like I said, it's
She
hard to get. It's hard to
hides.
get. Yeah, it's
She's
hard-
been hiding. She's been.
I thought it was just the thunder.
yeah. You would think it was just the thunder making her hide, but she is
is
so
hiding.
terrified right now, and I think that the idea that Mindy and Baby T could be in cahoots could be very well plausible. Mindy being the brains behind it, and Baby T being the brawn.
Okay.
I think that very well could be plausible.
Sounds right to me.
Sounds about right to me.
Look.
I guess I was.
Tyrone!
Tyrone.
What's going on, Tyrone? Where you been?
Hi guys.
Tyrone, how you doing, Tyrone?
We ain't seen
We
you in
haven't
a
seen
while.
you in.
Where you
Yeah.
been?
How'd you get in our house?
My lawyer's gonna get mad. I have to go.
He got a new lawyer.
Don't tell anybody.
He got a new lawyer.
Okay, well that was interesting. That was interesting.
What's he doing here?
Let Peter Piper figure this out.
Peter Piper.
Well, it's on video now. So, let's talk a little bit about Bribe.
Right. Well, listen. Out of everybody,
I think he's an innocent bystander.
he could be. However, at the same time, he does have a motive.
He definitely
He
has
does
a
have a
motive. He talked many times about how insane this woman was, how he
Oh yeah, he did.
was against what she was doing with Baby T and Minnie the Doggo. He is a four-legged friends rights activist, and he just loves dogs, and he thinks it. Could he be a vigilante of some sorts, trying to take justice into his own hands and get justice for Minnie the Doggo and Baby T?
I do see him watch a lot of those murder mysteries.
He does.
Psycho
He
is
does.
his favorite movie.
Psycho is his favorite
Psycho.
movie. And I think he might have
When he was
snapped a little
younger,
bit.
was Chainsaw Massacre.
I think he might have snapped a little bit the night that Mrs. Burdett had that knife over Baby T. I think Bribe might have set his mind back.
And
to-
this is all. These are all facts. These
Oh,
are
yeah,
all,
we're not
this
making
is-
any of this up.
This is the facts here. So I mean, I think the only way. I just don't know how he's going to explain this to him.
Well, listen,
To Peter Piper.
listen,
Um,
that's on him. Y'all got to figure out what you're going to tell Peter Piper yourself. I'm the only one without a motive.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
so, you know what, talking about people without motives, Bada T and Ganti Bizao. So Ganti Bizao has a very, has a serious motive, I believe. It involves Bada T, but Bada T himself does not have a motive. So Ganti Bizao was jealous of Dildo. And how much attention Dildo was getting from Bada T, her husband. And she was against Dildo being on the show, and her and Mrs. Bernadette Burnett went at it a couple times about Dildo coming on to the show, because Bernadette was the one getting her the job. They went head to head a few times, a couple of drag out.
Okay, but before you let Bada T completely off the hook, there's a little known fact that I was going to wait till I talked to Peter Piper, but, I might as well just say it now. Bada T has approached me 3 times asking me, will I be his alibi? That's all I'm saying.
Really?
That's all I'm saying. He may not have a motive, but he sure wants someone to give him an alibi.
Yeah,
That's all I'm
but you
saying.
brought this up before.
That's all. Well, listen, I was going to save it until Peter Piper got here.
Wow. Gotta really think about that one now.
I'm gonna have to re-email this his handwritten
Yeah.
letter.
Make a note.
Yeah, I just did that. That's very interesting. That's very interesting. Well, we don't know what involvement Bada T really has with this, except for being a dedicated cast member to our show, Safety with Fat Boy, and working with Dildo very beautifully. He really has nothing else that we've seen, except for now this bit of information from Big T. Did he mention anything else to you?
No, that was it. He just wanted to know. All he said to me was,
Wow.
my friend, hello, Big T, my friend. I do him very well.
You sound
You
just
do.
like
You
him.
sound
That's
just like him.
beautiful.
Oh, Big T, can you be my alibi? I said, Bada T, what are you talking about? You don't even have a motive. Oh, yeah. And he was waving the dildo around while he's doing this, like he does. And 3 different times he's approached me and asked me that, yeah.
Do Baby T next.
I got
Can you do characters?
No, I mean, I'm not.
Can you do right by Lucy?
I'm not that good. I can just do. I do a very good body T. That's it. That's all I do.
All right. So
Hey, there he is.
Come on, Tyrone.
come on,
on,
come back on this.
come on.
Screw your lawyers.
Come on.
Hey, guys.
Screw your lawyers.
Hey,
Screw
guys.
the lawyers.
How you been, Tyrone? How you
Yes.
been?
Okay.
Yeah, we missed you.
Wow.
We
So,
missed
so
you.
I got a
What's
question
up?
for you.
How are you?
I got a question for you. So, where were you? What is your alibi for the night that Mrs. Bernadette Burnitz died? We were talking about Miss Bernadette Burnitz. And
Somebody killed her.
somebody killed her, and we were all there that night. We were all in that room. What happened that night? What were you doing there? Why? Where'd you go when you left?
My friend Alberto was jumped by weird men, and I had to come out of the closet and help him. But I told Alberto I have to go back in now. And after that, I don't know. Berta was there. Berta,
Mrs.
Mrs.
Burnett.
Burnett,
Mrs.
and
Burnitz.
she said to me, "Wow, that's long," and I left.
Wow,
And then
that's
you
very
just left.
interesting information.
And
I
you-
gotta write this down.
All right. Okay. Well, listen. Thanks for coming.
Thanks, Tyrone, for making.
Thanks for
that
coming.
nice.
Thanks for leaving. Thanks for
Thank you.
Tyrone, everybody.
That's long.
Okay. Next.
Next, we're gonna talk a little
Sorry,
bit.
Dildo?
I don't know. Could Dildo have been there with Tyrone? If Dildo was there with Tyrone and Miss Bernadette Burnett saw them
Together.
together, that could have ruled.
Listen, I don't know why you just don't let Peter Piper handle this.
That's crazy. That's crazy. And that's long too. Wow, that's long.
That's long.
So, Sammy, our very own Sammy, who is filming us right now.
Hey, Sammy.
I see him.
Sammy is also a suspect, and she doesn't like to be on camera or talk on film. But she has told us all in depth how she believes that the fire was originally started by Bernadette Burnitz.
It very well may have been, and that could very well be Sammy's motive.
Good.
However,
Are you a little bit resentful?
Are you a little
Toasty.
toasty?
A little hot-headed?
I have to say, Sammy Asbada T has also approached me, not 3 times, only once, to say to me, listen, for a couple of bucks, could you say that me and you were out getting ice cream that night?
Really?
I was going to save it for Peter Piper, but I just figured, listen, I'm the only one without a motive, okay, and everyone's coming to me for an alibi. I think I'm the only one who could be cleared here.
Babe.
Well, let's not get too ahead of ourselves.
Can I? Yeah, I think you have a motive.
I mean,
We've also
right.
we've also
You
got
know what I
Nubby
meant.
Chang. Nubby Chang is also a suspect, and she was there that night. It was a few nights after the first debate that I had with Hillary Clinton, and Nubby Chang was our host that night. Why Nubby Chang was there, nobody knows, and it's kind of hard to understand her sometimes.
Did they really even know each other?
Well, the thing is that we don't know who knew who at this point.
Okay.
Really. It's so confusing.
Yeah, I'm finding so many things.
Because I'm gonna tell you-
I just found out a lot of stuff about Tinkle. I cannot wait to talk. We'll talk about Tinkle next.
Okay, we'll talk about Tinkle, but before we talk about Tinkle, I have to say, I never knew that Sammy even knew Nubby Chang. But on Sunday morning, when Mrs. Burnett was bailed out by a unknown person,
Right.
at 1 o'clock that afternoon while I was delivering pizzas at the Dairy Queen,
Yeah.
I see Nubby Chang and Sammy having ice cream together.
Get out.
Listen, I was going to save her for Peter Piper.
Wow.
So I didn't even know they
Wow.
knew each other. So,
Yeah,
and then Sunday night, all of a sudden, boom,
You
Mrs. Burnett is
conveniently
dead.
have a lot of information about a lot of the
How do you
suspects.
know, really?
Just telling the truth.
All right.
Okay.
All right. All
I'm the only one
hearsay.
without a motive.
All the
Now
hearsay
you keep saying that.
from Big T over here. You know what? I'm
Listen,
gonna dig a little bit deeper.
Fat Boy
in
has said he has dug and he has dug and he's dug all the way to China apparently, and he has now found one motive that I have.
I haven't checked your closet yet. There's probably something in there.
Did you find Nubby Chang there?
No,
You
but I
drove
did
to
find
China.
Mimi.
Is she a suspect?
Mimi, no.
No,
No,
I mean-
she's a blow-up doll.
Jesus Christ, you bite her on the neck, she farts or flies out the window. What the suspect?
There you go.
Next.
How many holes have been?
She's got a lot of patches though.
Next, we're going to talk about Tinkle. Okay, so Tinkle, I found out, her and Mrs. Bernadette Burnett have been enemies from the start. When Tinkle started on our show, she was the babysitter. She babysitted Baby T, and there was baby Delbo there, and an
Yes.
adolescent fat boy.
Yes. With pimples.
And the very next time they needed a babysitter, Mrs. Bernadette Burnett's made her debut on our show and took her place and rose in the ranks and eventually got Tinkle taken off of our show as the babysitter. And Tinkle went on to bigger and better things with the syrup bottle. She's going to be the next Auntie J. She's taking Auntie J's place, and there was actually a power struggle with that too. Tinkle and Bernadette Burnett were both trying to go for the syrup bottle aunt. They wanted to be the auntie of the syrup bottle. And there's been a lot of behind the scenes arguments and fights about this. I actually hacked the records to some cell phones and got a lot of information that I'm giving to Peter Piper when he gets here. But that
PIPPP.
he's our PP
PP's a PP.
PI on the
PI.
case. Peter Piper. He's
Well,
our
and I think it's worth saying too that Tinkle was invited to join us tonight, and she flat out declined.
Oh, yeah. Oh yeah, she's
So,
acting very
Why
suspicious.
don't we leave it at that for now?
Very suspicious. So the last person that we're going to talk about tonight,
By the way, Fat Boy, you have dug up a lot on a lot of people.
and I never gave an alibi or why I'm. Is that what you're getting at?
Don't have to put the shovel too far on the ground for that one, do you?
All right. If you need an alibi before the end of the show, let me talk a little bit about our last
Go ahead.
suspect, Rabbi Lipschitz, and then I'll come back to me. And we'd like an alibi. from
Because you can be replaced, because I'm going to tell you something. I think Terry and Matt from Dover and Terry from Newark would be perfect for replacing you as the new Fat Boy.
Sounds good. We gotta fatten them up.
Well, Matt from Dover is probably about 8 months pregnant now.
Matt from Dover
Oh
is
yeah,
pretty
he
fat.
was pretty.
No, he is. He's pretty fat.
So, Rabbi Lipschitz is our final suspect that we're going to talk about tonight. Rabbi Lipschitz, this one's, I think, probably one of the more bizarre motives that I've found so far. So, when Bernadette Burnett lost her leg, it was her right leg, she became very resentful towards right legs. She had a deep hatred in her heart. She loathed right legs.
Hated them.
Hated them.
Hated them with a passion.
Hated them. Just so far
Kicked
that
them
her
to the curb.
prosthetic was a left leg. She walked around on 2 left legs.
Yeah, she had 2 left legs.
So, Bernadette Burnett has known Rabbi Lipschitz for quite some time and knew Leg as well, just like she's known Delbo for quite some time.
Probably were all around the same time.
And when Rabbi Lipschitz met Leg, he became very involved with her life. He was overly obsessed by the bagels that she introduced him to. And he fell in love, I believe. And when Leg died, he was so distraught.
Oh, Rabbi Lipschitz was, yeah.
He
We didn't
was
see him for a little
he was
bit
staying in the
after
Shiva
that.
for 5 days, I believe.
Yeah.
And deep down, I believe he thinks that Bernadette Burnett had some sort of. She's always been jealous of Leg. And he thinks that she killed her.
Rabbi Lipschitz thinks that Bernadette Burnett killed Leg because of how jealous she is towards right legs, which would have been Rabbi Lipschitz's motive to kill Mrs. Burnett. By the way, as I do a good body tea, you do a good Rabbi Lipschitz. Give the folks a little Rabbi Lipschitz.
Leg,
Never mind, you're horrible. Keep going.
tried.
Keep going.
Egg. It looked like
Leg is
look like
dead.
Leg.
Leg is dead.
Leg.
No, that's good. Leg is dead.
Oh, yeah, that's wonderful. Yeah,
Thanks.
It sounded
If
just
I-
like it.
If I had my eyes closed, I would have thought that you were him.
Sounded just like it.
Yeah, good.
All right, so those are all of our suspects. So okay, so let me go back to me real quick before we end the show.
Leg.
Like his dad. It sounds just like him. Let us know. So back to myself. So my alibi for that night. I was there, and I was there for quite some time. I was in the room with Mrs. Bernadette Burnitz, and I was talking to her a little bit about the incident for quite some time. We were alone for quite some time as well. Listen, safety. I had to go get honey buns.
You know, I think it's very interesting, Fat Boy, that you're probably one of the only people who have not come to me and said, will I be your alibi? I think that's awful
I
interesting.
have nothing to hide. I have nothing to hide. I was there with Mrs. Burnitz.
Okay.
What was your alibi?
I was out to a restaurant.
Good enough for me. So, did Delbel kill Mrs. Boynitz? Is Tyrone a killer? Is Sammy out for revenge? None of these questions and more will be answered very soon on our show. And we... That's about it for tonight.
We just wanted to give you an overview of what was going on. We would like all of you to give us your opinions, your guesses at what exactly you think transpired here the night that Mrs. Burnitz was killed.
Yes.
Let us know.
Who do you think is a killer?
How do you feel about what you heard tonight?
So, I want to talk a little bit about tomorrow night. Tomorrow night we're going to be starting one of our new segments, Ranting and Raving with Big T. He's very pissed off about a lot of things going on, and he's going to tell you all the fuck about it.
Listen, if you lived in New Jersey or live in New Jersey, you got it. You understand.
You'll understand.
Go
Yeah,
on.
absolutely. So join us tomorrow night for that very special segment. It's going to be sporadic?
Sporadic.
Is that the word?
Sporadic.
It's going to be a random occurrence.
Every now and then, whenever I get a wild hair up my ass, is that how you say it?
Oh yeah, you like that, huh?
We will have the segment of Big T Rants and Rages.
Ranting and Raving with Big
Ranting
T.
and Raving with Big T.
Ranting and Raving with Big T.
And tomorrow night will be the first show because I have a problem with some of these people. So yeah, no, I've got a couple of things I'd like to throw out there. Get your guys' opinion on it.
I might be absent tomorrow.
And she's absent most of the time. And just so I want everyone to remember, out of the 15 suspects, I'm the only one without a motive.
Yeah. So, I think, yeah, stay tuned for more safety tips throughout the week and more campaigning. And we're going to get to the bottom of this. We're going to let Peter Piper get to the bottom of this. And stay tuned
So-
for
And
many
we
interviews.
shall let you
So-
guys know.
So tomorrow night, Ranting and Raving with Big T. Sunday night, we're off. We take a break,
Bloopers.
but you'll see all our bloopers posted. And then Monday night, don't forget to join us because Monday night, Peter Piper will be here and the interviews will begin. Safety.
Massacres. Make America safe again. Cleaning up the street. Fat Boy for President in 2020. We're here for massacres.
Okay.
Okay, folks, on a serious note before we end tonight, today is July 24th, and I want to wish my sister Linda a very, very happy birthday in heaven. I love you, kid. I miss you, and I can't wait to see you again. Pibbity, 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 popcorn player. She misses a cue every time.
I'm sorry. I thought it was still
I want everybody to have a great night and a pleasant tomorrow.